release and draft the board minutes discussion.
Ready to get going?
Yes, it's fine.
Okay, I'll stand up here.
Please.
My 15 minutes of fame. Are we gonna wait for Scott?
I thought we had them in. Sorry, I had to take it.
Well, it was a New York minute, and it's over 2 minutes ago.
Go ahead, Elaine.
Okay, I guess this should be quick because I dropped it in your lap last week at the meeting. I gave you my letter and what my questions basically. I mentioned codes on it. And so, I guess we can take it from there. What was your assessment and decision? To refresh your memory?
I did read the letter. I just had two questions that I marked on. Sub 2, Montana Local Government Board Handbook. At the bottom, you say those accepted by the body. So basically, there is no distinction in the MCA between the draft minutes and the approved minutes, those accepted by the body. So that my question was there, well, the draft minutes are not accepted by the body. We haven't signed those minutes. We haven't approved those minutes.
There is, so there, even after you approve it, the way I read it, leave the parentheses out, there is no distinction in the Montana codes annotated between the draft minutes and approved minutes, period. Okay, that's in the code.
Okay.
That's in everything
Well,
I read.
that's in that manual.
That's
Yeah,
in the manual.
That's their opinion.
Well,
So that's-
And those accepted by the body, my question was, well, we haven't accepted it. Second question I had was, you say in the next paragraph down that it's my understanding that the meetings are electronically recorded by audio recorder and computer. It's not true that I know.
what is he doing right there?
Mike records it by,
That's electronically recorded. Anything, he's not sitting there doing this.
Well, electronically
He's-
recorded,
that's
means
elect-
audio recorded.
well, that's what I did.
Yeah,
That's
so
what
he's
I-
typing it, but no, it's not being electronically recorded.
Where does it say that?
Uh,
Where's there a difference between an audio recording
Okay,
and
my bad, I thought it was,
Well,
you meant
I
a.
think that's clear in the statute. That's good. He's typing it, it's not being recorded.
that's recorded? See, there's the
No,
question,
I
it's
disagree. I
recorded.
disagree with you.
There is a recording, he's doing it, he's taking the minutes electronically. Is that better? It's electronic.
He's typing it, it's electronic recording under the statute
You
is audio recording.
see, Blaine, this is our problem here. I try to make it simple, it's right here. It says 2-6, and
No,
this
but
one.
be respectful, Elena.
I'm talking to
We're disagreeing.
I understand that, but let's
Okay.
go back to my letter. Here we skipped over one, Montana Code annotated. 2-61003 to include information prepared, used, owned, or retained by any public agency related to the transaction of official business regardless of form. What does that mean? Regardless of form. So regardless of form, is it gonna be that electronically? Is it gonna be written? Well, that to me is electronically. I can sit there, and if you'd like, I could do this, because I have a lot of people that have been contacting me to look at that, because that's electronically recorded minutes. Okay? Now, I can sit right behind Mike and record the whole thing, and it says draft, and then put it out to the public. Are you gonna stop me? You can't. So the reason I'm asking you is, why are you making it so difficult to get a copy, to review a copy by any form of the draft of the minutes? Simple question, why? Are you denying the public that?
They're relying upon my opinion. My opinion is not to violate anyone's rights, it's my interpretation of the statute. I respect your arguments. I think if the state legislature is gonna come out and say draft minutes are open to the public, they need to put that in the statute.
And they said all form. They say all forms. What does that mean? In Italian, in Spanish, not to be...
Could be audio, video.
Exactly, all forms. It says it has to be, to go further.
But it doesn't say anything specifically about draft minutes.
So what I will do, I'll talk to Gene Vukovich, our state senator, and ask them to clarify that in the state legislature.
I have a better suggestion. So you're saying now that 2-6-1003, we need a confirmation on that?
I think the legislature needs to come out and say if they
Why,
really
but
draft
that's a-
minutes or, yeah, I don't agree with your interpretation of 26110.
You don't? Well, then tell me, Blaine, why, yeah, I know I don't want to put you on the spot, I know you represent them. I have all your emails and mine that I discussed this with you. I never had a problem in getting a draft of the minutes, and I got exactly what Mike has before him electronically emailed to me.
By me.
And I never, from Mike, and I never had that problem. Now all of a sudden you interpret it wrong.
That was interpreted that way before I was county attorney.
I was allowed to get it. And nobody questioned it, I didn't question it. Somebody apparently questioned you and said, I don't think we have to give it to them anymore. Is that what happened?
You asked for an opinion, and I went to the
No,
attorney
this is
general.
before that. I mean, before that, I was able, Mike can confirm this. I have emails where I asked for the draft the next day or that afternoon, and he sent it to me saying, Elena, please, I didn't change the grammar, spelling, please, understand that. I said, Mike, I'll never question that. And I got the draft the next day, and it even said draft on it. Now, all of a sudden, the whole reason why I went to Mike Malloy at a conference that he was having, and I gave him, I said, what does this say? Because all of a sudden, I've been denied the draft of the minutes. That's why I came
But as
to
soon
you.
all I recall from my recollection, I can look at emails, is that you came to me and asked, and then I went to the attorney general. And
After
then
it
you gave
was,
me
yeah,
the
wait,
opinion.
after I
So-
was denied, I went to you. I was never denied before the minutes. I don't think Mike came up with that. Somebody said, do not give anybody the draft of the minutes. That's when I asked Mike, he said, not until they were approved, and then I went to you.
I'll have to look at the email, I might have said, let's wait until we get the attorney general opinion. before
Even
we give it
before
out.
that came in.
I'd have to look at emails. The intent is not for me to try to
I'll
keep
be-
this away from you, Elena.
The
It's-
intent is it was done fine with no question. It stopped. And that's when I got involved with it. That's when I
Well,
asked
if you wanna
you.
blame someone, blame me.
No, I'm not blaming you
me.
because the letter that you sent to Riskin, he didn't answer it anyway. Okay? And this has been going on for a long time. He did answer
He
you.
did give us, a second opinion after the code changed, right?
And then he really didn't, I don't think. He didn't say that, yeah, I made a mistake in the wrong codes. He didn't say that.
He didn't answer.
There you go. Now, what are we waiting for? It's the public. The Constitution, I don't have that here, I have it, but the Constitution says that you have to go out of your way, you represent the people. And you have to go out of your way to get public participation. I don't see that. By denying the public something, you're not in helping participation. Last week, there was a meeting here. A lot of things were discussed. Luckily, I took it and I electronically recorded it. I haven't had time to put it up, but I will. But suppose somebody sees this week's agenda and says, gee whiz, I wonder what they were talking about last week. Well, I'm sorry, we haven't approved the minutes for last week. Or I'm sorry, we haven't approved the minutes for the 19th of June.
Yeah, we're getting them out a lot faster here.
It's, the thing is, do you have the minutes for the 19th? No, you don't. Do you have the minutes for last week? No, you don't. But there is discussion that even, well here, even the airport board, when I contacted Reese to ask him for the copy of the minutes, I'm sorry, we're not at liberty to give it to you until they're approved. You're the guys that approved it. You had a conversation this morning. I mean, Vince looked as confused as you guys did. Can Mike pick it up? Where's the minutes? Where was that discussion? Where was that meeting that you had this big discussion that Vince kept talking about? Where are the minutes so we can verify what was discussed?
The meeting we was talking about with about Sentinel, that's in the approved minutes that are online.
Where? I mean, that's the whole point. Where do I find it?
That's the one that's posted, they're posted online, those ones.
The minutes for the air, that you had with the airport?
That you was talking about a meeting with the commissioners?
Yeah, I don't know when that was. I mean, when was it? When you were talking about the lease and he's gotta clean it out and we'll extend it for a year and all this other stuff?
I believe it was March or
Yeah,
April. But
And then
they're-
they had another, where's the airport board meetings? The minutes for the airport board. I mean, you have yours, they have theirs, where are they?
Did we get the airport board meeting?
Yeah, they've been sealed here.
And so where are they? This is what I'm saying, even after they're approved by you guys, where does the public go to look at them?
The commission minutes are online.
Yeah.
We're online.
You've seen them on the website.
Your meetings are online, theirs aren't.
Yeah, I was just at the commissioners.
I even asked Reese's wife to send the minutes, she said,
The airport board.
Oh, there we go.
and even I asked for her for the minutes, she sent me the minutes. I don't think she sent any minutes for this year, they were all 2017. And she said, these are all the ones that I have. You know, I think here's and then I'll let, here's a suggestion. Dan Clark, who did that wonderful guidebook for MSU local government, had a discussion, came here to Granite County, I guess this was when Maureen was the commissioner, and I think it's about time we do it again. Because all your boards, they have their own way of doing it. I can get a draft from the emergency planning board, fine, no problem. I can't get a draft from here. I have no clue when any of these boards meet. I mean, how about some consistency?
Well,
I'm
the board-
talking as the public.
The board meetings are always on the bottom of our.
Putting a notation on the bottom.
Yeah, it's being put on the
Doesn't mean
website.
anything.
You guys are having put on the website.
All these are on the website too.
And we went through the same thing. I discussed this, when was it, guys? And last year, that the website sucks. And we were gonna change it, and you were gonna have the IT guy and all this other stuff. There's still confusion. Blanche doesn't know what she's supposed to put up. And in there, it also says that the person who takes the minutes is the one that affirms it. And even that's wrong. So I think it's about time we get some answers on this and done it right, because there's a lot of things that are happening in this county that is gonna screw us royally with taxpayer funding things and projects and everything else. And we should all be aware of what's going on. I finished it, I'm sorry, I could have probably gone longer, but it's on tape.
Well,
It's
Elena-
electronically recorded if you need it.
Elena, hang on a second, just a couple things. You recorded the MCA and that said that there is no distinction in the MCA between draft minutes and approved minutes. Then it does say those accepted by the body. So my thought is they're not accepted by the body if they're draft minutes and we haven't had a chance to go back through them and make our corrections. In addition to that, in the same code it says go over some of the guidelines that are not part of the MCA, but should be considered by every board, and lists 14 of them. Number 13, write up or transcribe the draft minutes as soon as possible. So here's my only thought. Mike's busy, you see how, there's folks talking, and he does a very good job, but isn't totally accurate. Almost every time when we go over draft minutes, we make changes, okay? And we're trying to find accuracy. Now, I don't know, and this is, we haven't discussed it with the other commissioners, but, maybe we're at the level of, amount of business, number of people that come in, and some things that you talked about, yeah, they're very important to the community. That we should find another form of taking our minutes. If you go to the website in, say, Ravalli County, okay, they're taking electronically just like you do, okay? They have a pretty expensive but nice setup, okay, where the sound is good, all the commissioners wear microphones, and, I think it's put up in a day or so after the meeting, okay? So we're a small board that meets once a week. Our newspaper doesn't coordinate very good with, it's not their fault, but I mean, their timetable is different than ours, and that's caused some problems. So, yeah, I'm okay for taking another look at how we do our minutes, okay? But the reason the draft minutes are important to me is because if we start giving you draft minutes and you start putting stuff in the paper, well, this mistake, well, that, we haven't even had a chance to accept those minutes. And there are mistakes initially, because we make corrections. If there were, we would make corrections on the draft minutes almost every time, okay?
Okay.
And that's what we're looking for is accuracy. But I'm gonna give you this, and I mean it sincerely. Let's take another look at how we produce our minutes and kick them out. It's okay. That's all right. Let's do that.